Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's show. This is Navigating the Future of Trucking with me, your host, Jerri Banks. Today's show, we have an action packed, full of information and knowledge. But first, I want to start with sharing this. Change is inevitable, but growth is on purpose. I want you to imagine that you're upgrading your smartphone. You don't just jump from an old flip phone or that old big old Radio Shack phone like I used to have. You don't just jump from that to an iPhone 15. You don't do that overnight. Instead, you transition. You transition through different versions of the phone, different elements of the phone. You're always upgrading to the latest, greatest release. You're just like me. We always upgrade. We want the latest, greatest. And every new release that we've had, it's slowly introduced new features, new things. We went from typing on a keypad, on the phone. We went to touch screens. We went to voice commands like Siri. And each step made the next step easier to adapt to. Think about that. Think about your first phone that you got and think about the current phone of where you're at now. And I want you to compare that to the future of logistics and where we are from a transportation perspective now. It's very, very similar to how we're approaching the future of trucking. Now, think about our current trucking and delivery systems as like the first generation of the smartphone. And as we move forward, it's not about, waking up one day and a switch has been flipped. And now we're seeing robots and drones and autonomous trucks and automation, and it's all taken over just overnight. You won't wake up and a light switch turned on. You just won't. It'll be a gradual integration. So instead of that light switch just turning on like that, imagine a slow integration of new software, new technologies, very similar to what we're seeing from the ADAS. ADAS entering into your daily routine. What is ADAS? ADAS is in our cars right now. It helps us to see the blind spots, that little light that comes on your side mirrors that tells you, hey, somebody's in your blind spot, or those alerts that you get when you're backing up and you're about to run over the curb, or worse, you're about to hit a pedestrian. Now, first we might start seeing more and more of this type of driver assist technology that's only going to help make our roadways safer. And then we'll start to see more and more trucks that could semi automate the long haul portion of the interstate. We're going to see that more and more slowly integrate. And then we're going to see more and more drones, because the drones are already out there. But we're going to see the drones. They're going to handle those last mile deliveries for like small packages or food deliveries. We're already seeing that right now. And so what we're seeing is every piece of technology, every single piece of technology integrating gradually, just like that smartphone, making a transportation ecosystem, not just one piece, but an entire ecosystem, making it smarter, making it more efficient, and surprisingly familiar. And just like getting to know the features of your new smartphone, you're going to learn and you're going to adapt to those technologies step by step by step. And you're going to ensure that, when all those full capabilities are in play, they feel natural. They feel natural. They're going to feel natural, just like texting on that touchscreen of that smartphone. And so this is essentially what I call a smart freight logistics network. It's not one piece, but it's a collective of pieces. It's an entire network. And so I share this not just to help you understand that it's a whole network of pieces that work together to form a smart logistics network or a smart ecosystem, but also to highlight how in the world of logistics is not just one piece that makes up the whole, there's several pieces. There's several pieces that combine and lock together to make up this entire ecosystem. And guess what? You are an important part of that whole. The role that you play in this entire ecosystem, it's extremely important. And so that's why it's important for you right now to start learning, to start reskilling and upskilling and start your growing process. And so, because you will be able to complement all of these pieces, you're the glue that holds all of these pieces together. And so I want you to think about what I said. Change is inevitable. It's going to happen. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. But you grow on purpose. Growth is on purpose. And so you're here today because you're ready to grow. You're ready to grow with me. You're ready to learn with me. And I'm so glad that you're here. If you're new here, welcome. Do me a favor and make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you turn on the notifications so that you never miss a show. I am here live every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. On this show, we talk about autonomy and automation and new technology entering into the trucking industry. And we talk about traditional truck driving jobs, but also jobs in the autonomous sector, where you can take your current skills and combine them with new skills that you learn so that you can be a game changer at someone's company. And then lastly, on the learning lane, I share actionable tips that you can start using right now to help you upskill and reskill and prepare for the new future that our industry is moving into. And so, again, if you're new here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm Jerri. I own a recruitment and education agency where we focus on two things. Of course, we have those traditional truck driving jobs where we help to connect you with a trucking company, but we also have an education agency, and this is a big component of our education agency where we help you to learn, to grow, and prepare for the new future of work and the new future of trucking. So thank you so much for being here. Let me recognize our comments. Hello, everyone. Mr. Leonard says, good morning, Miss Jerri. What's happening, everybody? Welcome. Thank you so much. And let me say hello to all of my friends on the TikTok. Hello, everybody. Tamika, Shasha, Moving Freight. Hey, Moving Freight. Hi, George. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure that if you are not already tapped in with me, you are already connected. You subscribe to the channel. You follow me across all of my platforms. We have an action-packed show today. On today's show, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be sharing an article from CCJ, and this article is about programs that are offering free CDL trainings. This is in one particular state. We'll highlight that. We'll also highlight high school students that are getting their CDL and helping to tackle and join into this new trucking industry. I have a post from Torc Robotics, a video that I would like to share, and it kind of goes into more details in regards to what they're doing on the autonomous sector. And then an article about just like the status of AVs for the commercial vehicle industry. And I'm going to share a traditional driving job. This traditional driving job, I call it the position that when it gets tough, when the economy's going slow and things are down, these are always hiring. These are always hiring. So I have actually 3 different opportunities. They're dedicated dollar stores. I want to talk about them. I want to make sure that you know about them. And if you're in that hiring area, you'll be able to tap in and hop on some of these accounts because they're paying really, really well. And then lastly, in the learning lane, we're going to talk about three qualities of a professional truck driver. Three qualities that set you apart and helps you to stand out as a professional truck driver. So again, thank you for being here. We'll get started right after the break.
I'm Jerri Banks. Our agency focuses on driver recruitment and driver education. We focus on helping drivers and preparing them for the future of trucking and transportation as autonomous vehicles and automation enters the industry. Our goal is to ensure that you are equipped with the skills that you need to be successful in this new way of life. So make sure you connect with me across all of my platforms. Jerri Banks, Autonomous Trucking.
I'd like to thank our show's sponsor. Today, our show is sponsored by Texas Car Accidents. TexasCarAccidents.com with an S. After an accident, there's 5 key questions that you need to ask yourself to see if you even have a case. Even if you're not in Texas, this could be very helpful for you and a great place to start if you ever find yourself involved in an accident. Their website is a wealth of information, and our partner is Dustin over there. Make sure you tell him that you heard about TexasCarAccidents.com right here on Navigating the Future of Trucking with me, Jerri Banks. Hello, and welcome back. Again, thank you so much for joining the show. Make sure you subscribe. Today, I want to highlight a article on that was featured on CCJ in regards to programs offering free CDL training, and outreach to high school students. So it's a twofold article, but this article it really highlights 2 key programs and the tackling the ability to bring more drivers, new drivers, into the industry by offering free CDL training and outreach to younger generations, the younger demographics of individuals that are just thinking about the industry. But here's the thing: there's a lot of the youth that don't know about the advantages and the being able to be in the trucking industry. It's a lucrative industry. It is a great opportunity to take care of your family. And there are programs, particularly like the one we're going to highlight today, that are doing a phenomenal job in bringing more youth and introducing this amazing industry to youth in the trucking industry. And so the first program, it's called Driving Diversity. And if you're in Oregon, this is it's a federally funded grant that they have, but they provide free CDL training to residents in several Oregon counties. And so it aims to remove that financial barrier, that barrier of entry it's so high. So if you're trying to get to the industry, you found that it could cost upwards of $5,000 to $8,000 to actually get your Class A CDL. And in certain instances, there are companies that will pay you, but you do have to in most cases, commit to working with them for a certain period of time to be able to pay that back. So this particular program offers a free CDL training, and the participants are able to get employment. After they're done, they're able to get employment. So the program offers support beyond just getting your training. It offers, again, like I said, assistance with job searches, with the necessary equipment. Because when you start driving, I remember when my son first got his Class A CDL, he needed steel toe boots, he needed tools, he needed safety vests and safety equipment. So those are all costly. And it's very important that we have programs like this that helps to reduce that cost and that stress and strain, because you want to get your Class A CDL, but there's oftentimes I've talked to so many drivers that don't have the funds to be able to get those next few things that you need, to be able to just get that safety vest, to be able to just get those steel toe boots. So hats off to this program here in Oregon. Um, a $3.4 million federal grant that this program has been given. More than 325 new truck drivers have already received their CDL through this particular training program. More than 325 Class A CDL drivers are now on the roadways because of this particular program. So again, hats off to the driving diversity, driving prosperity program and everything that you guys are doing up there. Now, with that being said, in that same sentence, I do want to talk about the future of trucking. I encourage all drivers, or all new entrants, that you're getting your Class A CDL. I welcome you. I welcome you into this industry. But I will say that as you come in to this industry, recognize that this is not your grandfather's industry anymore. Okay, this is not grandpa's industry. There is so much more that you have to do than just drive. There's so much more. And so, in addition to getting your CDL, there's things that you need to know in regard, and make sure you subscribe to this channel and you check out some of my past videos. I talk about pay structure. I talk about sign-on bonus. I talk about, entering into this industry and how to move when you get in there. I'm at the end of this show today. I'm going to talk about being a professional truck driver and what that looks like, because as you get into this industry, you're going to see there's two levels. There's a professional driver and then there's a driver. Okay. I want you, as you enter this industry, to be the professional driver, because gone are the days of there's just somebody here driving, because a professional driver does so many things. They take care of the customer. They are a professional in appearance, and they have a safe driving record. Their work history doesn't have like 20 jobs in the course of 3 years. And so it's very, very important that you know how to move when you come into this industry. And soft skills. Tap in with me, because I teach and talk about the soft skills like communication and problem solving and customer service. There's that word again, that you need in order to be able to excel, in order to leave the pack. Okay. And that's going to set yourself apart from everyone else. So, again, welcome into the industry. I also want to recognize Next Gen. So, Next Generation in Trucking Association, it's a program that is attracting high school and college students to trucking careers, because after high school, not everybody wants to go to college. Not everybody wants to, spend 4 years and $30,000 a year on average on an education. And so, trucking is an amazing career. You're going to come right out of high school learning, um, learning how to drive, learning how to be safe. And Next Gen is doing some amazing things over there. Basically, they collaborate with schools to help implement trucking programs just throughout the school, so that as they graduate high school, they'll have their Class A CDL. And so they participate in career fairs to help raise awareness of the trucking industry to more young people. The program, it advocates for lowering the average age of new drivers, and it offers resources like a safe driver apprenticeship program. So Lindsay and the gang, Lindsay and Dave over there at Next Gen, congratulations, hats off. You're doing an amazing job. Keep it up. Now, I talked about the cost of getting your CDL. It can be expensive, anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000. Both of these programs, they're addressing that cost by providing the free training, by getting grants, by getting equipment like simulators and things like that, to be able to bring more and more younger drivers into the industry. And what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I know I have some of the older drivers into in the industry. What are your thoughts on and share some advice? Share some advice of what you wish someone would have told you when you were coming into the industry, particularly Mr. Leonard, who's got over 48 years of driving. What would you tell a new driver coming into the industry, whether they're 18, whether they're 21, 23? What would you say? What would be that one piece of advice that you would give? And if you're watching out there, tell me, what would you tell this new driver coming into the industry? What advice would you give? My advice would be keep your driving record clean, register in the clearinghouse, but that's stay out of it. That is my biggest advice. Stay out of the clearinghouse. As a professional driver, we should never have a violation in the clearinghouse. And so Mr. Leonard said, what did you say, grandfather, not papa? Grandfather, yes, it's not your grandfather's industry anymore. There's new technology, there's new software, there's new advancement. It is changing, and we have to change with the time. And so that's why everyone is here, so that they can change with the time. So again, hats off to both of these programs, Next Gen and Driving Prosperity Program, for doing an amazing job in sharing our amazing industry with others and bringing new younger ones, younger folks, as my daddy used to say, into the trucking and transportation industry. All right. And next, we'll take a break real quick. And when we come back, I'll talk about Torc Robotics and what they're doing and how they're teaching us about autonomous trucking.
When it comes to autonomous trucks entering the trucking and transportation industry, up until now, you've only heard bits and pieces, news here, news there. There's been no centralized place for you to learn about autonomous trucks. Join me every Wednesday and Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time as I share information, news, and education on how you can stay prepared for autonomous trucks and autonomy entering the trucking and transportation industry.
All right. Welcome back. Let's talk about Torc Robotics. So, Torc Robotics, they have an amazing video that I'd like to show you. And it's an introduction into the world of autonomous trucking. It showcases the company's technology and a vision for the future of freight transportation. Let me go ahead and pull that video up for you. And if you don't already follow Torc Robotics on their LinkedIn, make sure you are tapped in with them. And we'll do a spotlight on them because I don't think we've spotlighted Torc Robotics just yet. But let's spotlight them. Let me go ahead and share this. I'll get the sound up because there is sound. All right, it says, what is autonomous trucking? Also known as self-driving trucks. Autonomy. An autonomous truck is a semi-truck that navigates roads and transport goods from one place to another without needing a driver. This is by Torc Daimler Truck. Technology. These big rigs use a combination of sensors, cameras, and smart algorithms to see the road, to detect obstacles, and make decisions just like a human driver would. And then ADS. ADS, Autonomous Driving System. This technology comes together. Oh, wait, let me get it back. Safety, autonomous trucking is the ultimate fusion of technology and transportation. They're designed with safety as the top priority and constantly monitored by human operators. This is in regards to their safety. And if you want to learn more about Torc Robotics, make sure you visit their website. I'll get their website up so that you can take a look at it and you can visit their website and learn more about Torc Robotics. Torc Robotics, I actually went to a webinar that they did. A lot of great information, a lot of interesting facts. They talked about their Torc Safety Council, Advisory Council, and everything that they're doing to bring autonomous technology in safely, and it's a slow walk for them. It's not a let's do this, like I said, overnight. It's a slow walk because they want to ensure that everything that they do, they're bringing in autonomous technology safety. So they emphasize their commitment to safety by talking about and highlighting the multiple layers of the redundancy and the fail safes that they built in their autonomous system. And in that webinar that I went to, they talked about some of their showcasing some of their real world applications and demonstrating their potential for practical implementation in the near future. And they're partnering, as you saw, they're partnering with Daimler Truck, and this partnership is helping them to advance their autonomous trucking technology. So, congratulations and hats off to you, Torc Robotics. Thank you so much for that information. And go check out their website. They have a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge, and they're sharing it. They're sharing it, and I feel that they're and not just Torc. All of the companies are open. Kodiak Robotics. They have a wealth of information on their website as well. But what they're doing is by sharing this information, it helps the public to better understand, to not be afraid, and to understand what is coming, what this future looks like, to see what this future looks like. And so I thank each of you for the knowledge, for the education, because what you're doing is you're building public trust. Keep building public trust because it is needed, because this is the new future and we need to understand exactly what this future brings. And also, as I pound every day, we need to understand what it is that we need to be doing to get ready for this new future. So thank you, Torc Robotics. Let me just take a look and check out our comments here. Mr. Leonard, oh, look, he says, take care of your CDL. Take care of your commercial driver's license because it is worth its weight in gold. And if you've watched any of my YouTube videos in the past, you've heard me say that your CDL is worth its weight in gold. You can take care of your family. You can pay your bills. You can have a place to live. That is your livelihood. And so you never want to do anything to jeopardize that. So let's take a break and we're going to thank our sponsor. I'd like to thank our show's sponsor. Today, our show is sponsored by Texas Car Accidents. TexasCarAccidents.com with an S. After an accident, there's 5 key questions that you need to ask yourself to see if you even have a case. Even if you're not in Texas, this could be very helpful for you and a great place to start if you ever find yourself involved in an accident. Their website is a wealth of information, and our partner is Dustin over there. Make sure you tell him that you heard about TexasCarAccidents.com right here on Navigating the Future of Trucking with me, Jerri Banks. Hello, and welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Scaling up AVs for the commercial vehicle industry. This is our article brought to us by Fleet Owner. Thank you so much, Fleet Owner, for this very detailed article. I'm not going to go in depth. We'll have the link in the description box so that you can go, you can check it out yourself. Again, this is more information, this is more knowledge, and you're going to learn exactly how some of the developers are scaling up, how they're um, adapting to the industry, how they're building partnerships, how they're building a safety case. This is a major, very detailed article. Companies like Gatic and Kodiak and Torc Robotics, who we just talked about, are tailoring their AV systems to fit needs of the trucking industry, thinking about factors like the distribution networks that are changing, the maintenance requiring, technician training. We talked about that. The future of the technician is going to skyrocket. The future need of the technician, the diesel technician, it's going to skyrocket. So if you're looking into alternative career pathways in the trucking industry, diesel technician. Look at diesel technician. Doesn't take, 4 years to get a diesel technician certification. We actually partner with Select Tech Institute here in the Houston, Texas area. We've also already sent over a couple of guys and gals. Particularly, I'm excited about the gals that are going over there and getting their diesel technician certification. They are the future. They are the future because someone is going to need to continue to work on these vehicles. Why not you? Why not you? And so this is an amazing opportunity. Make sure you look into the diesel technician world. Moving right along, let's talk about a truck driving job. This is a traditional truck driving job, and it is a dedicated dollar store. So I actually have three new dollar store runs open. And if you're like me, when the budget gets tight and we're cutting in the household, hey, guess what? Guess where we're going? We stop shopping at on Amazon and on Walmart and on Target. We stop and we go to the dollar store. We buy things at a reasonable price at a lower budget. And I always talk about dollar stores because it's the account that if you get on, you're never really slow. You always have loads that are moving. And so once these accounts are you're on an account like a dollar store, you're moving. You're moving. Now, I will say that dollar stores are not for the faint at heart. It's not for if you're a weakling, this isn't for you. Okay. You got to be strong. You are going to do a what they call a physical test, which means that they have to see that you can lift a certain amount of pounds. I think it's like 50 pounds. You can lift it up over your head. You can do a duck walk, and that is when you're holding a box and you're kind of like scooting down. You're stooped down and you're kind of walking. You have to do a physical just to show that you're going to be able to unload the trailer. It is manual labor. It is manual labor. And to be able to unload that trailer, just to put it into perspective, a lot of these dollar store accounts typically have anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 pieces. 2,500 to 3,000 pieces. Those pieces could consist of dog food, canned goods, water, household supplies, toilet paper, paper goods, all of those things. You're unloading those. Now, this particular dedicated account that I have open, it is a piece by piece account. What that means is it's not all loaded in rolltainers, it's not all loaded in pallets, it is piece by piece. So you're going to unload each piece by piece at the store. Also, with dollar stores, you have to be a good backer. You've seen dollar stores. You know that they are typically in the smallest truck stop, the smallest strip centers and stores in rural areas, in larger areas, in city areas. You have to be the best backer. Okay, you typically won't have anybody out there spotting you. unless your team running, but you have to be a good backer. You're going to average about 3 loads a week. And we have openings in Virginia, North Carolina, DC, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. I've also got opening in Kentucky, in Indiana. These dollar stores are open in quite a few areas. Now, average pay, depending on the account that you're going to be on, the average pay is anywhere between 15 to 1800 a week. 15 to 1850 roughly. I always like to kind of lowball and give you a range that way, because I don't include taxes. This is strictly off the gross, and that way that you're gonna average anywhere in between that. You're gonna do, like I said, about 3 loads a week, and it's possible that it is going to be home every week, and it's typically for a 34-hour reset. So it's not necessary. Your 34-hour reset may be on the weekend, it may be during the week. It just depends on how your loads run, what a distribution center you're picking up from, what stores you're going to. Do they have enough staff on the weekends or during the week? Like, it just depends on those types of things. And so once you get in that on that account, your fleet manager, your operations manager is going to tell you where you're going to be delivering to. I do have an account that would like drivers to have doubles endorsement. It's not required, but a doubles endorsement is a huge plus on some of these accounts. Now, the doubles endorsement, if you don't already have a doubles endorsement, I want you to get it, because it's very important. It's very important that you start getting these endorsements, that you start thinking about these endorsements, because again, those are things that set you apart from the driver that doesn't have anything, the driver that doesn't have a hazmat, the driver that doesn't have a tanker or doubles, the driver that is not a good communicator, the driver that doesn't take care of the customer. I want you to start thinking about setting yourself apart, because once you set yourself apart, you're on a whole nother level. You're on a whole nother level, and you want to meet the requireds, because that's what we have. We have the requireds, which are your checking those boxes, like the MVR, like the PSP, the DAC report. All those are good. You're safe. You're this, you're that. That's great. But then we have desirables, and those desirables are different. Those desirables are, can you communicate? How's your customer service? How's your appearance? How do you work in a team setting, in a team collaborative environment? All of those things are going to be important in the new future of trucking. All right. So I talked about the dollar store account. If you are interested in working on a dollar store, you live in some of the areas that I talked about, Kentucky, Indiana, and Virginia. If you're in like any of those areas, it's typically within like 100 to 200-mile radius. Give me a call. Text our team. Text dollar store to 832-572-5277, and the girls are standing by to communicate with you by text or talk to you over the phone. So the girls are ready. You may get me one day if a phone rolls over. I typically have my rollovers on in case the girls are on the phone. Not all the time, but you may get me every now and then. So if you're interested in dollar store, now here's the key. Driving record is important. They'll be able to tell you if you qualify. The other thing is you got to be able to pass a hair drug test. You have to be able to pass a hair drug test. Do not come into the industry if you cannot. I'm going to tell you now. Don't come into the industry if you cannot pass a hair drug test. I may be preaching into the choir here, but this isn't. It's a new day. It's a new day. Mr. Leonard says, we call it fingerprinting, manual labor, back breaking freight. If you're not in shape, you will be. Trust me. Yes, I've had so many drivers that have come to me and said, I've just been doing, even my own son, I've just been doing drive-in. And I just been driving. I don't feel like I've, had the time to be able to get out the truck and do my exercises and things like that. Before I was a trucker, I was, going to the gym, or I was running in my, in my neighborhood, or on the track at the school or whatever. But now I'm always, moving, and I don't get the opportunity to get out and work out, to get out and get, a little bit of exercise in. Dollar store will change your life because you're going to get some exercise. And as a matter of fact, my son will be starting his dollar store still with the same company, because I preach in his ear. Stay in his ear. We're not hopping around. We're going to, stick it out. I need you to be with the same company for several years. And so he's just did an internal transfer. Hats off to you, son. I'm proud of you. He's did an internal transfer, and now he is on a dedicated dollar store. And so I told him, get your back brace. Get your back brace, because you will be unloading some boxes. You will be touching every single piece. And so he's ready. I'll talk to him in a couple of weeks, and well, I talk to him every day, but I'll ask him again in a couple of weeks, how it's going, and I'll come back and let you guys know how he's liking that dollar store. All right, again, so if you're interested in dollar store, text dollar stores to 832-572-5277. That is the team, and they will definitely be able to get you going on that dollar store. Before we move into our learning lane segment, I'd like to talk about the ebook. So this is an ebook that I wrote, and it is an ebook it's called Preparing You for Autonomous Trucks Entering the Transportation Industry. It's a wealth of information, and it's just going to lay the foundation. It's going to lay the foundation for you so that you can have a good understanding about autonomous trucks. Are they already on the roadways? Who are the key companies? Where are they on the roadways? What states are allowing them? Where are the main lanes that we're seeing? And just so that you know, some of the main lanes are in Texas. Houston to Dallas, Dallas to Atlanta, Houston to El Paso, Dallas to El Paso. And so these are some of those top lanes by some of those top companies. And this ebook is going to lay that foundation. It's also going to do another thing. It's going to talk about the key skills, those soft skills, those interpersonal skills that I want you to start working on. That we're going to be having a workshop coming up so that you can start preparing and just honing in on those skills, because you've already got them. You've already got them, but we've got to build them. We've got to build them. And those key skills are going to be what helps you set you apart and helps you excel in the new future of trucking. So if you haven't already downloaded the ebook, make sure you download it. It is Preparing You for Autonomous Trucks Entering the Transportation Industry. Again, it is a wealth of information. Now, if you have not subscribed to the channel, if you are not connected with me across all of my platforms, make sure you do so. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you turn on the notifications so that you never miss a show. I'm here every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Central Standard Time. And let me know. Let me know where you're tapping in from, where you're watching from. Over the years, I've had just so many amazing people across the globe commenting and telling us where they're watching from. So thank you so much. Moving into our learning lane. Our learning lane is where I just take a few minutes to kind of talk about and help and educate and help you understand just a few qualities, just a few things. And so today we're going to be talking about 3 qualities of a professional truck driver. 3 qualities of a professional truck driver. And so I want to start with attire. And this goes to those new drivers that I talked about earlier in the show that are coming into the industry. And just getting their CDL. They just wrapped up their test, their road test, and they did their written test. They wrapped up their road test. Now they're ready. They're ready to go find a job. They're ready to go work for someone. And it's important that your first perception, the first perception that you give, that person or that company gets from you, that's the only perception that they're going to remember. The first perception that shipper sees when you walk into their establishment, that's the only impression that you're going to give. And so I'll use my son, because I told him when he first got his CDL, and he got his CDL, it was a free grant that he got, that the school that he went to, San Jacinto College here in Houston, Texas, and they may still have it. If you're in Houston, reach out. He got his CDL a couple years ago. And the one thing that I told him, other than safety, other than, keeping your driving record clean and all of those things, it was your appearance. But that wasn't new, because he's been hearing that from me, all my boys and my daughter, they've been hearing that from me most of their lives. The impression that you give is the impression that you will leave. And so your appearance, it matters. Your first impression, it matters. It might seem superficial, but that attire goes a long way. Just look at Walmart drivers. If you've ever seen a Walmart driver at the truck stop, how they are in their white, pristine, crisp shirts, button-down shirts, that says a lot. That's professionalism. And you want to ensure that you are clean, your appearance is clean, it's well maintained, it's presentable. You're not in flip-flops. Okay? Because first of all, and this is what I tell my son, you are a representation of that company. You're a representation of yourself. And more importantly, you're a representation of me. And so you have to be professional. Your appearance has to be clean and well maintained. Again, that sets you apart. I can't take you serious if I see you in basketball shorts and flip-flops at the truck stop. I can't take you serious if I see you, and maybe not the truck stop. Truck stop is different. But at the shipper, if I see you in baller shorts and flip-flops, I can't take you serious. So your professional appearance matters. Because flip-flops, it's not proper attire, number one. It's crucial for safety. You need to wear boots. You need to wear steel-toe boots. You need to wear your safety vest. All of these things are so important. Like I said, you represent the company. That truck has their logo. You have a logo. You are a personal brand. You are a walking personal brand. Maintain a neat appearance, because that builds trust in your clients, that builds trust in your company, and it builds trust in your overall image. So I want to ask you, do you think there's a difference between dressing professionally and not dressing professionally? Tell me. If you think that's a big deal? If you think that's a quality that's important? Mr. Lennon says, all you have is yourself. Be professional, set an example. Be professional and set an example. Like I tell my son, you are a representation of me and everybody that came before me. All of our ancestors, you out there representing, you're holding everybody on your back. Okay. So represent us well out there. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Leonard. Next is the next quality of a professional truck driver is effective communication. It's more than just talking. It's more than just talking. It's being clear. It's making sure they understand you. You have to communicate with dispatchers. You have to communicate with the customer. You got to communicate with other drivers. And so being professional in your communication, it sets you apart. Being clear, being concise, avoiding using slang, listening, all of these things sets you apart. That communication piece, that's part of that Interpersonal soft skills that we talk about regularly on here. Being friendly, being customer service oriented. It can make a big difference in how you build rapport with your customer in the long run. I just talked about the traditional truck driving job dollar store. And when you're working a dollar store account, it's a dedicated account. Dedicated means you're going to see the same customers typically over and over. You're going to see the manager of that store. You're going to see the staff in that store. And that professional demeanor, your appearance, your communication, all of those is helping you to build rapport. You never know when you might want to work there. You might want to run that store. And that relationship that you build from a professional perspective, it leaves clues. It leaves clues and it helps you in the long run. So that's important. And then the last professional driver quality that I want to leave you with is time management, managing your time wisely, planning and scheduling and sticking to your schedules and on time deliveries. They're all very, very crucial in the trucking industry. You need to plan your route efficiently. You need to think about your breaks. You need to anticipate and think about potential delays. I'm in Houston and right now it's black outside. It's storming. And a professional driver has already taken into account because yesterday he already knew this was going to happen. So he planned ahead. She planned accordingly to make sure that she's still on time for her deliveries. And then, for whatever reason, if you have to adapt, if you have to adjust your schedule, you still communicate to keep everybody informed. That's good customer service. That is great customer service. And so, last quality was customer service. Customer service. So, I want to ask you, which one of the for you do you feel like is like the most important? I feel like all of them are important, but which one do you feel like is the most important? Right? So share that in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts, because being a professional truck driver is just, it's more than just driving skills. It's a commitment to safety. It's that effective communication. It's that efficient time management. And by doing these and having these qualities, you're going to contribute to a more professional industry that keeps our world moving, that keeps the economy flowing. So tell me, what other qualities do you think are important? What other qualities do you think a professional truck driver should have? Make sure you share your comments in the section below, in the description box below. And I want to wrap up, and I want to just make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. You're connected with me on all of our platforms. You turn on notifications so you never miss a live. And I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for your time today. Mr. Leonard says all. Thank you so much, Mr. Leonard. Mr. Leonard is our ride or die on the show. He's always here. He's always dropping knowledge and gems. He's got 48 years of experience and expertise in this industry, and a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of information. Mr. Leonard, I'll have to definitely get you on here so you can drop all the gems and share all of the knowledge that you have with new drivers coming into the industry. Mr. Leonard has just followed me and been my number one fan for many, many years that I've been on YouTube. Hello, Mr. Leonard. We will wrap up today's show, and I will just say, be that professional driver. Be that professional driver. Make sure that you are prepared. Make sure that you are ready for everything that the future holds, everything that the future brings. And to our friends and family over on TikTok, hello, everybody. Hello, boy days. Thank you so much for liking the live. I appreciate you guys for sharing it It's been an amazing show. If you haven't checked out one of our shows, make sure you check it out. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Mr. Leonard says, have a great weekend, everybody. Rack 'em.